Today's best bets coming your way for all 10 NBA games. You're in the jungle, brother. Let's work. Off the tip, it's our best bet for today's show, our daily sizzler, and it won't be a popular one. It's the Atlanta Hawks plus 1.5 at home over the Charlotte Hornets. And I want to know in the comment section if you're going to tail me or fade me. All is welcome. Let's discuss this game together in the comments. Now, this game's expected to be close. Obviously, the line tells you that at a spread of 1.5. But there's a couple things here, a couple things in play here why I like this game so much. If you like Charlotte in this spot, you have to believe that they are that team that's playing so hot. That's won all these games straight. That's them. That's just not a win streak. Because home underdogs perform very well. Home dogs in the NBA, 56% against the spread this season. In Atlanta, 7-5 against the spread as a home underdog. Charlotte, 3-4 as a road favorite against the spread this season. The public is all over Charlotte here, and there's a lot of recency bias, in my opinion, with the betting and where the line is at. The time to back Charlotte during the streak would have been a couple games ago. We got to go contrary to the public here. I like the Hawks plus 1.5. It's a great spot for the home underdog. That's my best bet for the show. If you want my best premium play for today, you can get that. It's called my $5 favorite. There's a link for it in the comment section. Now we got Washington plus 5.5. Good God, this game is ugly. At Brooklyn, over under 219.5. Now, Brooklyn has no business laying 5.5 points against anybody. They have a league worst point differential, get this, over their last 7 games of minus 17.7 points per game. The problem, though, and the reason that they're favored in this game is because essentially everyone on the Wizards that you've heard of is listed as out or questionable. So we don't really know who they're going to put out there. Neither team is backable in this situation. What we can do, though, is attack the over-under. And we're going over 219.5 because the Wizards will have some guys out there that don't play much, that much we know. And I say this all the time. Even the deepest bench players that never really sniffed a chord in the NBA can score in their sleep. That's why they're in the NBA. And when those guys get a chance to play, they tend to try and score and show out, show up. Faster pace, more possessions, not much defense is played at all. So I think the over's in play for this game, over 219.5. And I would also consider Noah Clowney of Brooklyn, over 11.5 points. Now here's an interesting game. Houston plus 2.5 at OKC. The over-under is 213.5. SGA and Jalen Williams, not that Jalen Williams, but the good Jalen Williams, out of course for OKC. But Houston's had a really hard time scoring the basketball lately, man. Last 2 games, they scored 93 and 99. And they lost both games straight up as a pretty big home favorite. I think this is a low-scoring game, but instead of taking the game under, I'm going to pick on Houston and take their team total under 105.5. It's a number they've been held under in 4 of their last 6 games. And in the Thunder's last 5 home games, they've held opponents to an average of 104.7. And without SGA, the defense will look as differently as the offense will. For a prop, though, I do like Jabari Smith of Houston to go over his point total of 13.5. He's been one bright spot in the Rockets' offense recently. He's been over this in 4 of his last 5 games with a median of 17 points a game. Dallas plus 9.5 on the road, not too far, taking on San Antonio, over under 230.5. I think this is too many points to give the Mavericks, even on the road. They play well against good teams. Dallas is 8-4 against the spread their last 12 games against top 10 scoring defenses, of which the Spurs are a card-carrying member. And they are 75% this season against this number of plus 9.5. And the Spurs just 40% against their end of minus 9.5. I would take the points with Dallas, and I would consider Max Christie over 13.5 points. Utah plus 7.5 at Orlando, over under 237.5. Utah showing off their new toy, Jaren Jackson Jr. Keontae George is back in the lineup. Joseph Nurkic is healthy. Ace Bailey's in the starting lineup. Isaiah Collier's coming off the bench. I think it's a good spot to back the Jazz here. There's some excitement with that team now, taking on a stale Orlando Magic team who's just 28% against this number of minus 7.5 this season. Good spot to take the Jazz with the points on the road, and I like Ace Bailey over 12.5 points. Denver minus 5.5, pardon me, at Chicago. The over-under is 232.5. Anthony Simons, Jalen Smith, Jaden Ivey making their debut in a Bulls uniform. Joker's questionable for Denver. Josh Giddey's out for Chicago. Peyton Watson, Spencer Jones also out for Denver. Denver lost 3 straight games, and all tough physical games against OKC, Detroit, and the Knicks. This is a tough road spot for them. Chicago's lost 3 straight games as well, and it's a completely different team, though. It's tough to cap, and it's tough to know what to expect with this lineup. Denver also hasn't been winning by margin on the road, though. They're just 25% against this number of -5.5 their last 20 road games. This is the hardest game on the board to cap today because of all the unfamiliarity. But I would lean Denver only because we have some known commodities there. I think the best play on the board in this game would be Jamal Murray over 32.5 points plus assists. Guys, the Super Bowl is tomorrow. What are your bets for the game? I want to know in the comments section. I've got my betting card already set. I've got 5 bets. I've been profitable the last 5 Super Bowls. I've got 5 bets on my card, and I'm selling them for $15. For $15, you get my entire Super Bowl ticket tomorrow. I'll leave the link for that in the comments section as well. Golden State plus 2.5 on the road taking on the Lakers. The over-under is 220.5. I like LA minus the 2.5. The Warriors just 35% on the road against the spread without Steph Curry. Lakers 50% against the spread without Luka. LA also 57% at home against this number of -2.5. I would lay it with Los Angeles, and I would consider Austin Reeves over 28.5 points plus assists. Philadelphia plus 1.5 at Phoenix, over under 223.5. Keep an eye on the injury report in this game before you make a play. And you have time because tip-off's at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If Embiid plays, I think it's going to be tough for Phoenix to have an answer for him defensively. He's listed as questionable, but he's played in 5 of Philly's last 6 games. My guess is they keep him out because he's listed with a lot of right knee soreness. Grayson Allen listed out for Phoenix, but Devin Booker's scheduled to return. This is Philadelphia's 4th straight road game. I think it's a good place to fade them, especially with the Suns being such a strong home team. Phoenix is 63% against the spread at home. As long as Embiid doesn't play, I like the Suns, and maybe even if he does. So I would lay with Phoenix, watch the injury report, and consider Dillon Brooks over 19.5 points. Cleveland, minus 12.5 at Sacramento, bless their heart. 234.5 is the over-under. The Beard, James Harden debuting with Cleveland. The only thing you consider here is laying the points with Cleveland. Sacramento's unbackable. They're god-awful. They have the worst record in the NBA. They've lost 11 straight games and have a point differential of over -10 per game. Cleveland's been hot. They've won 8 of their last 10, and they have the best point differential in the NBA over their last 7 games at plus 14.8 per game. I would lay the points with Cleveland, and I consider Jalen Tyson of the Cavs over 15.5 points. And last game on the slate, we have Memphis plus 8.5 at Portland, over under 234.5. A game so nice they're playing it twice. They did it last night in Portland. Same game, same spread, 8.5. We were on Portland. Portland won by 20, 135 to 115. Again, same spread here, 8.5. Ty Jerome should be back for Memphis. Denny Avia may return, may not. They've been kind of tickling our balls a little bit, flirting with that, but we haven't seen him back yet. Now, the thing we don't know is if they're going to be sitting Drew Holiday or Shaedon Sharpe on a back-to-back. Right now, Holiday doesn't have an injury designation next to his name, but they tend to sit him on back-to-backs, especially since he's just back recently. Shaedon Sharpe does have a questionable tag to him. So until we know that, we can't pick a side. If nobody is resting, I would lay it with Portland. I would take them again. But I do like the under 234.5 here. I think it's high. Now, they combined for 250 last night, but both teams shot way above their average, both from 2 and from 3, and there were 35 fouls called in that game. Things should come back to center, and we should go under this number. Also, yesterday, the line was 232.5, so we're getting 2 bonus points with the same exact teams. I think we go under in this game, and I'd look for Ty Jerome, though, for Memphis to go over his points and assists total of 20.5. Have a great day, Jungle Nation. I'll see you next time with a little more money in your pocket.